Morning. Morning, Paul.
Morning.
Morning, Richard. Morning, everybody.
It's been morning for a long time already.
Morning. Welcome to the morning.
He woke up at 5 o'clock.
I did.
So I woke up at 5 o'clock.
Early in the morning. Yes. Welcome to the show. This show is called
Sunday Chat!
Yeah. And it's a Jubilee special.
Is it?
No. But it is the Jubilee weekend, a Platinum Jubilee. Platinum, my favourite metal.
Is it?
Yeah, it's lovely. I don't own any because I'm not wealthy. And you've never bought me any.
Because I'm not wealthy.
Oh.
What
Just
was
a
that?
little...
Was that sort of some comeback in your nose or something?
Yeah, a little bit. Well,
Ugh, how horrible. Yeah.
Don't worry, it's not COVID.
No. One of the people that I know who is connected with Warren Farm Nature Reserve, they've had 3 jabs and they got it quite badly.
Yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it? Yeah, I know.
Got through, all of the last 2.5
anyway,
years.
let's not start open that discussion about, who knows everything about COVID, because we're really not interested.
Well, no, it'll be deleted anyway.
Yeah.
Ah.
So, welcome. It's Friday morning. We're back on schedule.
Or schedule.
Well, those of us who know how to pronounce words.
Or are in different parts of the world.
Schedule, Paul. It's schedule.
I know, but it's like schedule for other people. Schedule. Yeah.
No, it's like people who say sensual. It's sensual.
Sensual. Yes, there's no H in it. No.
But there is an H in schedule.
There is. There's C in it as well.
I don't know why I've always said schedule.
Well, because you have.
Schedule. Schedule seems more
Oh, there we are.
Anyway,
More
let's move on. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in this week to our show, our little show here on our little channel, our little cult channel. We're the... We're YouTube's best kept secret.
Oh, dear.
Sometimes I don't even know how to talk.
Oh, right.
Hey, let's go. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in, joining us on all platforms all over the internet.
Thank you everyone on Coffee.
Everyone on Coffee for supporting us.
Weather, it's been lovely.
Blah.
We watched quite a few things on TV. Bye!
Okay. So, thank you from the bottom. Yeah, welcome's weather.
Should we start again?
I think we should just stop.
Yeah, I think
and
we'll
just
stop.
call it a day.
Yeah.
So the weather has been changeable this week, hasn't it?
It has
very
been
changeable.
So cold.
Oh, freezing.
Yet when you're in the sun, it's so warm.
That's because it's a big ball of fire in the sky.
It is a big ball of fire in the sky, yeah, it is. Though it's not actually in the sky, is it?
No, it's 93 million miles away.
It is, yeah. That's further than New York.
So it's very big and very hot.
It's very big, very hot.
But we only feel it because of the atmosphere.
Yes,
we do. The radiation of the atmosphere.
We do, yes.
How it radiates through the atmosphere. Isn't it interesting?
That's absolutely fascinating.
I think so.
So on Tuesday we had absolute downpours and hail and thunder and rain
and lightning.
Oh, and then an hour later, bright sunshine, blue skies, white clouds, and I was at the plot and the steam was coming off things because it was so warm. And then half an hour later, downpours again. So it's been that type of week, really, hasn't it?
Yes, and I do hope that nobody gets rained on Sunday.
No rain on the parade.
For those illegal street parties, more of that later. Really. Yeah, very changeable, very changeable. There have been a number of storms. I was at work. I did try to film one, but it wasn't successful because my priority at work is work.
I got it, though. I got the downpour.
Yeah, but you didn't go viral with it, did you, Paul? No.
No, I didn't put it up anywhere to go viral.
No.
It's on a week at the plot, which 3 people watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you'll see that in a week at the plot. It opens. Does it open the week? Yes, it opens the week. Yeah, there we are.
So, as we've said, we're in the Jubilee weekend. This is the Queen's Platinum Jubilee that we're celebrating here in the UK with a variety of different celebrations all over the country. And what did we kick off with? Yesterday, Thursday and Friday this week are bank holidays, so it's incredibly quiet.
Bank holiday.
Holiday. It's incredibly quiet. We popped out yesterday morning to Kew Gardens. That's the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew.
Was that our sort of bit to celebrate the Jubilee?
No, we just fancied going for a walk.
Oh, right, okay.
And we got there for early opening, had a lovely time before the hoi polloi arrived.
With all of their children.
The Great Unwashed.
Oh, I mean, as soon
we
as
were leaving.
Yes, as we were leaving.
The crowds were coming in.
Flooding in.
So we get the best part of the day.
And all those children going,
Oh.
I don't want to be here. I want to go and watch Spider-Man. Like, oh, God.
Lock
honestly.
them in the understairs cupboard while you go to Kew.
Actually,
Release
it
them
would be
later.
quite good if, you know, like you go in and you can leave your bike at Kew. You can obviously park your car. They should sort of have a cage where you could put
Well, they
children.
have. It's
couldn't
called a
they?
playground.
Oh yeah, they've got the playground now.
And
yeah.
they should just have wardens keeping the children in.
Yeah, yeah. I think they most probably do.
And to keep them happy, just give them sweets and chocolate.
Lots of sugary things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then hand them back to the parents and the parents are ready.
So we had a lovely time, and it was quiet, and we went
was
around
gorgeous.
Kew Palace Gardens, which it's one of my favourite parts of Kew.
But what was the highlight, I think?
What was the highlight?
What was the highlight?
I can't remember.
The Rose Garden.
Oh, the Rose Garden was particularly lovely.
The Rose Garden
Yeah.
is in full swing, and you could smell in the air the scent of the roses. And we did walk around and smell the roses, didn't we? Paul?
We did. We always have this thing that if I can smell a rose,
I
very
can't.
often he can't. If he can smell them, I can't.
Bizarre.
It's very odd, but there was one
That we could both smell.
that we could both smell. I think it was, what was it? Princess Anne, was it? We could both smell Princess Anne. So there we are,
And she
on
smelled
Jubilee weekend.
She
Yeah.
smelled good.
She
And
was very fragrant.
So that was lovely. And then we got home, and what was I going to say? Oh, that's it. We had the fly pass.
Oh yeah, yeah. I said to Richard, we most probably be able to see the fly past, or at least some of the fly past. And
we did. We caught it. We caught it. In the distance.
Yeah.
It didn't fly over because I think they have to sort of go round Heathrow, don't they?
Well, Heathrow closes, doesn't it?
Yeah, briefly.
Yeah, it
Very-
stops.
but if you notice, they actually kind of took a wide circle. So I think they have to avoid the area. I think they have to.
Well, I think you're incorrect. Because the Red Arrows, they were, I think, the last. And over sort of behind us, there was actually routes that split. So some planes went one way and some planes went another.
Well, yeah,
and the Red Arrows went over Heathrow.
Sort of.
You got them
Sort
with their
of.
putting their smoky things on.
I
going
don't
over
know whether
Heathrow.
they were directly over Heathrow
Well,
or
it
not.
was
Paul,
very
I'm
close
not a
to
human
Heathrow.
radar.
Honestly.
I try, but I'm not. So, that was rather fun. Now I do like a plane.
was.
Now I do like a plane, and I do have a sort of soft spot for the Red Arrows because
definitely.
as a child, they featured heavily in my life. Well, not heavily.
Well, they would feature I think it was the first Wednesday or Thursday of every September in Guernsey. There would be a flyover in Guernsey and Jersey over the Channel Islands.
Yeah, and they were kind of big. And where we went on a holiday, which was Rosniger on Anglesey, that's a little island just off the coast of Wales. Big island. They would, I think, do a little bit of training from RAF Valley. Where we went on holiday, it was a caravan site called Shoreside Caravan Site, and you can look it up online. And it sits right at the end of the runway. So we would be treated virtually every day to a free air show, you know, from various jets, and I mean, it was fabulous. Sometimes, you know, you could get them to tip their wings at you.
How could you get them to do it?
If you were stood on a bit of a hillock and you were waving, they would go like that.
Right, okay, well you could get them to do
Yeah,
it.
they'd give you a
nice?
wing wave.
A wing wave on your hillock.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they would. It's a thing. It's true.
We did go to Anglesey for a long weekend.
Yeah,
quite
we
a while
did.
ago, didn't we?
Yes.
And it was very wet. And we went to the end of that runway.
Yeah.
We parked up, didn't we?
There's a little lay-by where you can park up.
And Richard said, it's so wet, I'm not sure they'll be flying today. And virtually as soon as he said that, there was like... and one took off over our heads, didn't it?
I've got some great memories of watching... after the air show, there would very often be a few jets left that would depart the next day.
Right.
And I'll always remember watching. I think we were playing swing ball or something on the sort of grassed area on the caravan site. The caravans were really spaced out, and there were large open areas. They weren't these. It wasn't a site where everything was jammed
Next
in.
to each other, yeah.
As
they are now.
I'm not sure what that caravan site is like now, but in the 70s and early 80s, they were spaced out, so you had plenty of space to run around. And I remember I was playing swing ball and I heard this jet approach, and I don't know what kind of jet it was, but I'm not kidding you. It came over me and just went straight up like that and disappeared into the sky. And I'll never forget that. It was thrilling, absolutely thrilling. And quite incredible. And the Sea King helicopters used to do training in the area as well. So
that's where Prince William was, wasn't it?
Prince William, I think, was at Valley, yeah. Not when I was on holiday.
No.
Much later, obviously.
Was he even
wasn't
born?
then.
I was just thinking, no, he wasn't born then.
Anyway, that's interesting. So the Jubilee weekend, Paul. What do we think of the Jubilee? We're not particularly royalists. Well, I'm not.
No, I'm not, but I'm also not a Republican. And I think, I think it's great. I think it's great.
I think it's a lot of unnecessary money being spent on things.
I think it's a lot of money being spent, which obviously the economy needs at the moment to, boost itself.
One little weekend.
Well, I mean, they say
tourism.
something like 4 billion will be spent over the weekend.
Yeah.
What that will do, I don't really know.
Yeah, 4 billion's probably already been spent on the pomp and ceremony ball.
No, it hasn't. No,
I mean, millions has been spent.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
And, I don't think it's worth that much, to be honest. I think it's outdated, the monarchy.
Well,
I love a fly
themselves, aren't they?
past. I love a fly past. No, I do. Because I like planes. I think they're spectacular, and I admire the knowledge and the training and the expertise that those pilots have. I don't support armies.
No.
And I don't support the military either, because I don't believe in warfare.
No.
Alexa, please stop. We're pacifists. I understand that countries have a need to defend themselves, blah, 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 but if everybody worked together around the world to stop war, and we didn't have dictators in place, then I think things could be very different. But unfortunately, human beings aren't like that.
Yes, human beings aren't like that, sadly.
There are many wild cards, aren't there, in the human race. So unfortunately, you can't account for crazy actions of
mad people,
mad rulers.
But there we are.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I admire the Queen. She's done her job, and she's done it very well, and she's set a good example for people in general. But I don't go in for all this celebration. I certainly won't be taking part in any illegal street parties.
Yeah, we found out last night that there is possibly a street party in our road, but it's not a registered and authorised street party. Which is a bit odd, because you need to have a road closed by the council for that to happen.
And the police need to be informed, because you've got, this is a city. So you've got things like access for emergency vehicles. You've got access for ambulances, things like that. People may have made plans,
Have we made plans?
No, we haven't. But say for example, we had invited several family members over for lunch, and they needed to park in the street, and maybe one of them was elderly or disabled and needed to park by the house. Those kind of considerations need to be made. If we knew there was a street party going ahead officially, which there isn't in this street, you plan accordingly, and you say, well, we can't do lunch on that day, we'll do it on the Saturday. So, there are street parties taking place in all the other roads which have actually been registered, so they're on the list, so you know what's happening. So I will be telling them. I will be telling them. I will go out and tell them, this is an illegal street party, I'm calling the police.
Quite a lot of roads around us have play mornings, play afternoons, and that's where the street gets cut off.
And you're notified.
So that kids can play in the street.
Everybody's notified.
Yeah,
just let people know. Let people know.
I was talking then.
Well, that makes very little difference in my world.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I told you something this week, and like 3 days later, I said to him, he said, well, you haven't told me that. It's like, well, I have, you just weren't listening.
I think you've told me things.
No, I know, you have selective deafness.
I think you've done them in your world.
Yeah, you have selective deafness.
You've told me in your dreams.
I've shouted from the allotment.
Little known royal fact, seeing as we're talking about the Jubilee Schmoobily Boobily. Have you ever seen the Queen's cleavage?
What?
Have you ever seen the Queen's cleavage, Paul?
I've seen yours. Yeah.
Everybody's seen that. No, have you? I was thinking about this. I thought to myself, and it was when we were watching a countdown, and Rachel Riley had a very low-cut dress on with a huge cleavage, which I don't necessarily approve of. No, I really don't. I mean, you could have skied down those. Should have a sign saying, test your brakes.
You don't have brakes on skis.
No, but you do if you're driving down that kind of hill.
Well, there we are, we're driving down. Tobogganing.
No. Have you ever seen the Queen's cleavage?
I don't know.
The answer is no. The Queen never shows her cleavage.
She's never got her baps out, no?
So not everybody takes a lesson from the Queen's behaviour, do they?
Well, no.
Exactly.
No.
So, lovely. So that
is an amazing little known fact.
Don't you think?
I
think that's going to go viral.
I think that will go viral. The Queen doesn't get her baps out, so you never see her cleavage.
No, maybe she's had a facelift on her boobs.
Yeah.
A boob smooth.
Maybe, yeah. There we are.
So, lovely.
Dear.
So, Paul, news this week. What's been in the news this week, apart from the Jubilee Schmoobily?
I don't know what has been in the news this week, Richard.
I don't know, Paul. What has been in the news this week? Well, the major news in London is the Abba Show open.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah, the fabulous Abba Show, which we're going to see in July.
The fabulous.
Fabulous Abbalus.
No, well, it is actually, isn't it? It is.
Fabulous
Abbalus Abba Show.
Avatars.
That's what it is.
Abba Avatars. Yeah. The show has opened to rave reviews, if you haven't already seen them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Meant to be the most spectacular show, arena show ever made. That's what people are saying.
So, have you spoken to anybody who has seen it, Richard?
No, but I've actually seen a few clips.
So I spoke to somebody who has seen it. Oh. And they went, it was amazing. It was amazing. And I said to them, was it as good as Kate Bush? It was like, no.
Yeah, but that's a different show.
I know it's a different show. I know it's a different show. But
So for those of you who don't know, the Abba Show, Abba Voyage, opened at the custom-built Abba Arena, which is on the Olympic Park, way over the other side of London.
East London.
The East End, opposite end to this side.
It's not the East End, it's East London.
It's way out sort of Stratford way, isn't it?
Yeah, East London.
Yeah. I didn't say the East End.
You did say the East End.
Well, it is the East End
but it's
of
not,
London, not
the
East End. Not
no.
where the East Enders live.
Absolutely.
That's right, innit? I can't understand East Enders when I watch it.
I saw
That's
a bit
all
last night. I turned the TV on, and what's his name was there? What's the oh, you know, the main character. He's really actually a good actor. I've seen him on stage.
I don't know who the main character is. I've never watched it.
Anyway, it was all that.
I haven't watched it since the 80s.
It was all that. It was like, right, Jubilee, yeah.
And apparently, Charles and Camilla have done a little cameo on EastEnders. Yes. I know.
There we are.
Really slumming it.
I think that's a bit unfair. Maybe have they done Coronation Street and Emmerdale?
I don't know.
They should have done, shouldn't they? You know, other soap operas are available.
So anyway, back to the Abba Show. It's over the East Way of London.
The East of London, yeah.
Well, we're not. Well, we're at the West. And we're at the end of the West section, but we're not in the West End.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. It's not the East End. It's the East.
I'm having some of my coffee now.
So we are going to see it in about 5 weeks' time, something like that. And I am really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. So
the light show is meant to be like nothing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think, the avatars. I've seen a couple of clips and, they kind of do look like, robots.
But they're not robots.
No, you know what I mean? Fake. They are a fake Abba, obviously. And they do look a little bit uncanny valley in places.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that term, uncanny valley, until it was mentioned in terms of Abba Voyage. I'd never...
Abba Voyage?
Isn't it Voyage?
Voyage.
Is it? Oh, it should be Voyage. That's far nicer. I'd never heard of uncanny valley. And then we were watching something the other day, weren't we? And it was a crime thing, and it was the Lincoln Lawyer, and they mentioned Uncanny Valley. I thought, I've never heard of that before.
So anyway,
and here we are hearing it all the time.
Uncanny
Valley, Uncanny Valley, Uncanny Valley, Uncanny Valley, Uncanny Valley.
Don't say that too quickly.
Yeah. So we're going to see that.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Can't wait, and yeah. In other news this week, our neighbours have started their building work. A bit premature.
Yeah, they have.
A bit premature, seeing as the planning application hasn't even been finalised.
Yeah, but they haven't done anything to the structure of the house.
No.
But
so,
it was...
welcome to a noisy summer.
It was...
summer of noise and pollution and dirt and dust drifting over.
Summer of Richard just talking. I was working at my desk the other day and I was on the phone to somebody and then they went, "Oh, what's that noise?" I went, "Oh, it's building work starting next door." They had that, you know... So yeah, I had to go and shut the back window and in fact the front window as well.
Accept.
But this is one of the reasons that we are going to be moving.
Yeah,
you know.
But we don't know where, we don't know when, so please don't ask us anymore.
No.
We will tell you when and where and how when it happens. You know, it's very difficult. We can't really do much until we got this house on the market, boy.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. You did see a house the
I've
other
seen
day,
several.
didn't you? And I said to Richard, I don't really want to see any.
No, there's no point.
Until our house is on the market. But I did show you one the other day that came through to me, didn't it? And Richard said, "I thought you weren't looking at houses." And I said, "Well, this one's a bit special." And you look at the outside and then you flick it over, you know, as the photos to the lounge and then the bedroom.
It looked like a murder had taken place there. It looked like a crime scene.
It was...
I'm not living in a crime scene.
It was just...
I'm not doing up a crime scene.
It was just bizarre. There were bags everywhere. It was a complete mess.
I don't want a fixer-upper.
I think this would be a body removing job. I mean, it was... How anyone thinks that that house is going to be sold and why the estate agents even thought we'll go around and take photos. They'd have been better to do an artist's impression. I mean, it was just an utter tip. And not a tip as in it wasn't being lived in. This was a place that was clearly lived in. I love it when
they say artist's impression, or it's a bit like serving suggestion.
Oh yeah, yeah, they've got
that kind of thing.
Yeah,
artist impression, serving suggestion. I suggest you serve this sausage with a piece of parsley. Huh?
When I was in the sausage business, quite a few years ago, there were quite a few sort of restrictions that you could you had to do with your sausages and anything that you took a photo of. It actually had to be real food by that point, which was interesting because before that you could just sort of basically mould clay and paint it. It was sort of bizarre.
I think photographic techniques were not as great and not as flexible and adaptable as they are today. So, for example, when you're taking photos of food, they would colour the food, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Whereas now we can do that in post-production to make something look
better,
radioactive.
But they would also sort of get what those cotton
dentures,
cotton pads, rolls, and put them under sort of like chicken skin to make it look plumper and things like that. I mean, it was more a sort of building thing than it was a serving suggestion. Quite bizarre. But your photo of the cracked black pepper sausages ended up being used, didn't it?
It did, didn't it?
It did, yes.
I'm big in sausages.
There we are.
So that's lovely, Paul, lovely Paul. So, pardon me.
Did you just do a bottom burp then?
No, I did a mouth burp.
Oh, right, okay.
I might do another one. I drank my coffee quite quickly. What was I going to say?
I don't know, but it's on your pad.
Oh! To apologise. Paul, get a grip.
Bad. That was bad. You have all people...
Oh,
you done it again! Done it again! I think that's you. No more coffee for you. No more coffee for you. Anyway, what's next?
I turn into an avatar then.
Yeah, not a very good one though. No.
What was I going to say? I've forgotten. Completely forgotten. Why have I shan't have it in this report? What have we watched?
Well, we watched all of Stranger Things.
Stranger Things 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow. If you've never seen it and you've never started it from 1, because that's what you need to do. This is a show about a little town called Hawkins. And it's about a group of children who are sort of... Alexa, please.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa, please stop. It's about a group of kids who are friends. Well, some are friends, some aren't, or they become friends, who have to basically fight an evil entity and an alternate reality.
Was that your miming of the alternate reality?
Yes, in an alternate reality, I'm really thin. Yeah, and it's an amazing show. Spoiler alert. What's been absolutely incredible in Stranger Things 4 is the inclusion of Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill, which has catapulted it to...
The song.
Which has catapulted the song to the top of loads of streaming charts.
iTunes
all
and
around the world.
Spotify and things.
It's used at a pivotal moment or several pivotal moments in the show. So highly recommended. Start from the beginning if you've never seen it. It is a sci-fi horror, so there are elements of horror, funnily enough, but all necessary to the story.
Yeah, you see, you said it was horror the other day, and I had to think, is it horror? And I thought, actually, yes, of course it is horror.
Yeah,
but it's not horror, but actually in some bits it is.
Well, it's not a slasher movie.
No, it's not a slasher movie. There's not sort of I was going to say,
and there's quite a few light bits as well.
Yeah. There's moments like every 50. If there's something really sort of deep, then there's something that lifts it. Just a comment or a quip that is made at some point. So yeah, it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
With the final part of season 4 is being broadcast in July.
So it's been released in 2 volumes. Volume 1, which we've just watched. Volume 2, which is coming up in July. So can't wait for that. But I think the thing for me about it is the value.
Yeah.
I think it's a high value show.
Well, it is.
Because the episodes are lengthy. You just think it's going to end, and it doesn't. And there's another bit. High value, high quality, good entertainment.
I think it's also one of those shows where you don't know, you literally do not know where it's going to go.
No, twisty, turny.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So great, really, really good.
We have also finished the Amazon Prime show Night Sky.
Yes.
Starring Sissy Spacek.
Yeah. Which was quite slow to get into.
It was, but I enjoyed it, actually.
Yeah.
Reflecting on it, I enjoyed it. Again, quite sedate in places, quite deep in places. And also surprising. So, a taster if you're thinking of watching it. It is about a couple of mature age who basically have under their shed a chamber. And this chamber transports them to a room, a viewing room on another planet. Which they've worked out is on another planet somewhere in the universe, but that's about all they sort of know. But they go there regularly to look at the view, the beautiful view.
Yeah.
And we start off by not knowing why it's there or how it's there or what it's for, but the story slowly unfolds. And we get to meet a lot more characters. There is some peril involved. There are some very unsavoury characters as well. Yeah, it's really good and ends up being quite satisfying, even though it's sort of open-ended.
Yeah, I think it's, we haven't seen whether, well, we have seen that they haven't either cancelled it or recommissioned it, so it's still in that limbo state. But even so, it's a series that is well worth watching if you're into that.
It has a conclusion, and it's a fairly satisfying conclusion.
Yeah.
But there are lots of unanswered questions.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's really worth a watch.
Yeah, we've really enjoyed that. As I say, quite slow to get into it.
Yeah, all right, we've said all of that. You don't need to repeat it, Paul. We're moving on to the next show now.
But
Paul.
then it gets going.
Another show we've started is...
The Lincoln Lawyer.
The Lincoln Lawyer.
Which,
Is this Amazon Prime?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think it's Amazon Prime. I think it was it was a film several years ago, and now it's been done as a series. And we've only watched maybe 1.5 episodes, and you did fall asleep. But
I was enjoying
late
it
in the day.
It was late.
Yeah. So we'll restart that. We'll have to go back a bit in that second episode to where you fell asleep and pick up from there. But I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, quite good. I mean, I'm not blown over by the characters. Again, there's some characters you think, oh really?
Like who?
Well, I mean, one of the wives, you just think...
Which one?
The blonde one.
Yeah, I
She's
agree.
been annoying.
Yeah, she's been annoying. Yeah. But she's the one that has sort of held his life together, hasn't she? Anyway, watch it if you're into it.
It kind of feels light in places, but then very dark.
Yeah.
So it's a strange one, but it's the same writer as Bosch, isn't it?
Michael Connolly, who wrote the books Bosch, wrote The Lincoln Lawyer as well. And I think The Lincoln Lawyer the character is Bosch's stepbrother or something.
Do you think we'll see Bosch?
I don't know. Did Bosch mention The Lincoln Lawyer?
I don't know.
I think he mentioned it in the latest one that we've seen, Bosch Legacy. I think he mentioned The Lincoln Lawyer. Yeah.
So, and also, I discovered, and you saw it as well, that Ghosts, the series that we really can't get into, the British version, the original version, really thumbs down. There's an American version I didn't realise.
Yeah, neither did I.
And I watched a clip, and it's like, yes, this is kind of how it should be. I mean, I've said it all along, American comedy series, sitcoms, are generally so much better than British ones. And you know what? I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's to do with the acting and the rhythms. With Ghosts, I don't really believe them.
Ghosts UK.
UK, yeah. I don't believe the actors. They don't convince me. Because the scripts somehow come across as stilted and they just don't seem to flow. But the American writers just seem to get it right, along with knowing how American actors work best. And it's a shame really, because if you go and watch, say, the Royal Shakespeare Company perform a Shakespeare play in Britain, it's amazing. Shakespeare comes alive, you kind of understand it, it has a flow and a rhythm, and it has all this fantastic whatever. I can't think of the word. But when it comes to sitcoms, I just don't get it. It used to work in the 70s.
I think we're just
sitcoms
in a very
in the
different
70s
time.
and 80s in the UK seem to be great. I think people knew who the characters were, and I've got a feeling that in this day and age, we're trying to be like the Americans, and it just doesn't translate somehow.
I
Do you know what I mean?
I know what
the
you mean,
Americans
but-
seem to love our comedy, and I just don't get it.
But I mean,
I get some of it.
But let's not take away from that Ghosts that in the UK is incredibly successful
I know.
here.
Don't know why.
So
So is My Family.
So is My Family, absolutely. There's
Never
a
got
whole
it.
load of comedy over here, which is huge. But I think we're not in that mass market of
No.
watching things. It's like Britain's Got Talent and the X Factor and the singing face masks or something.
The Masked Singer.
The Masked Singer. I just think all of that is utter shite.
yeah.
I mean, absolutely.
We don't watch mainstream entertainment.
No, it's interesting, but I was sort of thinking that what is primetime TV now? Primetime TV on a Saturday evening. We all used to be glued around as families, the TV, on a Saturday evening. Now, everything that's on a Saturday evening is like, for us, the dead night of the week. Because there's nothing on primetime TV that
For
we
us,
would watch.
no.
Nothing.
So that's it for this week's Paul.
Is it?
Little bit longer than last
Well, it's because
week.
you've been chatting away. That's
We're going
why.
now. Say goodbye.
I suppose that is the point.
Say goodbye, Paul.
Otherwise, there wouldn't be a show.
Say goodbye.
Because I'd just sit here smiling
Say goodbye.
and maybe
goodbye,
drinking tea and rubbing my
goodbye,
feet together as well.
Goodbye, goodbye.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Goodbye.
Yeah. I had to put my socks on before because it was so chilly. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye!
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Brr.